Welcome back to How To Do's and Don'ts, and I have some tips for you on how to be able to check out your air conditioning system to see if you actually have a problem or not with some simple steps as far as verifying that. It won't take you any super crazy tools or anything. The main thing would be a thermometer and just a couple common sense process steps that I could tell you to walk through. One being is a lot of people, the system will run and they say it's not cooling properly. So having a little type of thermometer like this is an excellent tool to have. If you take this and can put it in your vent that is closest to your actual system, you will be able to put it in there and check your air temperature. If you have roughly 18 to 20 degrees, that is going to let you know that it is cooling just fine. If you notice you don't have much airflow at all, there's a couple different things that could be your thermostat, your fan motor, or even your air filter or something controlling fan is in the relay. So the simplest thing that you can do on that is check your air filter. If you don't really have any airflow, you think, go ahead, check that air filter, make sure that thing is clean. If you notice your device isn't coming on at all, this could be several different things too. Most of these newer systems, whenever they are a split system, that being a system that has one part inside the house, generally in the closet or in the attic, and then the other part outside, they have what's called a float switch on there. You might have water in there. If you notice your thermostat isn't lighting up or doing anything, it's very possible that's what it is, because a lot of people will wire that switch into the red wire, which will cut the power off to the unit can't do anything to let you know there is a problem to where water doesn't flow out of that unit inside your house, creating an even bigger problem. Package units to where everything's basically self-contained outside generally don't have these installed. So you generally don't see that as an issue with those. Somebody can do that. They do have switches that can enable that in the pans that's in there, but most people just never bother to do that. The other scenario, if your outdoor unit just isn't coming on, that could still possibly be that float switch having a water problem, which indicates a clogged drain line, which is what I was discussing prior with that. Either where your thermostat isn't showing anything, no power, or your outside unit isn't coming on. It depends on the wire that somebody might break whenever they wire it in. If they break the yellow wire, that will keep your outdoor unit from running, which basically essentially keeps water from being able to build up and overflow on the inside too. A lot of companies and people decided not to do that because some people don't realize there's a problem then till much, much later versus using that red wire. The red wire lets that person in that home know there is definitely some kind of problem because the system isn't doing anything lighting up whatsoever. If you notice that that might be the issue for you there, or you think that is, you can simply take a small shop vac, the wet dry vac, take it outside to where your drain line is and pull on that. I would say though, to make for sure, if the inside unit has a P trap with a stack on it, basically just being a P trap shaped down the U with a piece of pipe coming up at the top, make sure it's capped off where you either stuff a rag in there, piece of PVC or something to get a good pull on it to get all the water out. Because if not, it'll just kind of suck air past it and not get everything out. That brings your unit back on, you know that was your problem. If that doesn't, and your light's still not on, then you could have some bigger issues. Maybe your breaker has tripped, so check your breakers. You can go in your electrical panel and make for sure that they're all on. If you have any doubts whatsoever, turn them to the off position and back to the on. Some of them don't make it very obvious that they are in the trip position and might fool you. So if you have any doubts and want to completely confirm it, push it all the way to the off position and back to the on. You might just have a blown fuse or even a bad transformer then if it doesn't light up. So that's some of your biggest and most normal scenario cases with that, as far as being able to get more of an idea. You can also check outside too. Does your fan motor come on? Is it spinning? Do you see that blade just twirling around when the unit's supposed to be on? And looking at the outside coils, if you look how you can see the silver fins, which is your coils, and all if they're real dirty, that can make it hard for your system to cool too. Simply taking a garden hose with a sprayer, but not spraying at the absolute highest pressure into it where you can bend the coils, Keep it at a reasonable pressure, washing those off, once a month or at least once every summer at bare minimum will definitely help with that to get the dust out of there, the dirt, any grass and things of that sort that have built up in there to keep it to its maximum efficiency. So that's some of the simple things you can check and do to try to see if your system has a problem. If you notice any of those things, you might be able to handle it yourself. If you think it's too much, call somebody. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to be before you get everything fixed. So don't hesitate. If you think there's a problem, you notice any of those scenarios, go ahead and call somebody, get on their list. It's one of the best things you can do. The sooner you call, the faster it'll get fixed, regardless of the wait time. Anyways, I hope that's been a little bit of valuable information for you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.